Hi, Allison. Can you hear me?
Hello, yes, I can.
Hi there. I don't see your video on though.
Yeah, I don't have it on. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to stay.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I mean, you can still turn your video on.
You guys hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So quiet, want to make sure. Where'd she go? Hey. We'll give people one more minute to get on and then we'll start doing our little check-in. Hey, Lily.
Hello.
Hey, Zinnia.
Mara.
How's studying going for that test, Caitlin?
Oh, it's going okay. I got super sick yesterday. I was gonna take it this week, but I pushed it to next week.
That was gonna be my next question if you got it scheduled. So that's good. I have
Yeah,
like a
I had it scheduled for this week, but then I was like, maybe.
not a,
Yeah.
yeah, go in full force. Hey, Emma.
Hi.
Oh, here's Corey. I'm gonna turn the ding dong sound on now too, Eleanor, in case someone rolls in late, you'll hear them.
Okay.
Okay, let's do our little accountability check-in. Lily, you want to get us started? How was your open house shadow this weekend?
I didn't do it this past weekend.
Oh, that's
Maybe
okay. That's right. You still need.
somebody else, but
No, it was yeah. I've got it in my head. How was your weekend? You had family in town, right?
yes, it was good. I got all my stuff figured out with the Realtor Association, so that's all done. Now I can register for MLS and all that stuff. So
Perfect. Good job. Excellent. Zinnia, how's everything with you?
I think it's going really good. I'm just trying to figure out how to fill out the scholarship for the Bold. So
Okay,
I think I'm trying to do that.
excellent. Well, let me know if you end up getting stuck on it or anything and need help.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of excited. My brother's doing it in Washington, so I kind of think we can bounce it off each other.
Absolutely. That's great. More the merrier. Emma, how's everything with you?
It was good. I had an open house yesterday. And it
With
was super
Tamara, right?
yes. And so it was really good. Lots of people showed up and she let me kind of lead out in talking to people. So it was a really good experience.
Good. Yeah, that Gillum location's a good one for traffic, like just kind of naturally. So that's perfect.
Yes.
Good. Sherry, how's everything with you?
Good. I had an open house yesterday. Had a couple good leads. So, I'm gonna keep in touch with them.
Good. That's awesome. Great job. Right. And Vaibhav, how's everything with your business?
Hey Mara, I did few open houses over the weekend. They were good.
Good job. You got a good show out on Adam?
For one, it was really nice. It was really busy. It was one of those, I wouldn't call it countryside, but it was in the Helvetia area. Not a lot of listings come in that area, so it was pretty busy.
Good. Awesome. Allison, how's your business?
It's good. It's good.
Good. Lead generation going well?
Yes.
Excellent. You didn't get to go to first step of Bold, right?
No,
You had a conflict.
I just saw this. I got an email and just had an extra minute and figured I'd
Jump
hang
on.
out.
Perfect. No worries at all. Welcome, Jane. And then Eleanor Abigail is a guest as well. So this is her first class. She's just observing. And so she's welcome to jump on and ask questions as well, but she's just seeing what our training is like. Oh, it looks like Sunset Corridor might be live streaming. So I'm gonna let them on as well. Perfect. Okay, excellent. So without further ado, this is a fun one. And I was asking about your open houses because Eleanor is going to school us on open houses. So she'll take kind of that beginning knowledge you guys have gotten from either shadowing or starting to host, or just prepping as you haven't gone there yet, and really get you lined up to be successful with them. She is a real estate broker with Keller Williams Capital City, which is in our Salem office. She's passionate about helping people reach their real estate goals. With strong roots in her community and a deep understanding of local market trends, she provides expert guidance tailored to their unique needs. Whether you're selling or your home or making your next move, she strives to make the process smooth, stress-free, and successful. She partners with trusted lenders, title and escrow professionals, and contractors to ensure every detail is handled with care. And outside of real estate, she enjoys her life on a small farm, hiking, gardening, and connecting with the Salem community. Experiences that keep her grounded and fuel her commitment to serving clients with heart. So she has been with us for a long time, and you guys are in really good hands. If you can have your cameras on, amazing, because that just, I think, makes the experience even that much better. But if you're not feeling well or anything like that, that's totally fine as well. And get the most out of it today.
Thanks, Mara.
Welcome. Do you need help sharing your screen? Or are you good if you need to do that?
I think I can do that.
Okay.
Let's see.
There's like the green share button on the bottom of it.
Here we go. Okay. Which screen am I trying to share?
I just kind of share the whole thing, and that way if you do bounce between screens, it will follow you instead of needing to reshare. So it's just like the first selected one.
Okay.
Perfect. Yep. Now you can go wherever you want.
Awesome.
All right. Have a great class, everyone.
Thank
Thank you, Mara.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So I just want to share, this is my second time teaching an Ignite class, so I do have a few little nerves. But today we are talking about open houses, and I have shadowed, I've had some of you guys shadow with me in the past. So I'm gonna open up my slides here. And I would really love it if you guys turn on your cameras. That just makes it a little more interactive, and I can see how we're all doing. If there's anybody that looks like they might have a question. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
With Ignite, okay, cool. Uh, All right, and it sounds like a lot of you have had open houses already in the past. Does anybody have any questions that they want to have answered during the class? Are there any specific burning questions that you've had maybe during an open house, or you've seen other realtors doing it differently? Okay, sounds like there's no questions. So anyways, open houses are all about lead generation. It's, oh, this is gonna be awkward because I'm gonna pull up my facilitator guide also. Wonder if I can change it. Okay, are you guys seeing my guide here?
Yes.
You are, okay. So I'm gonna go to the very beginning. On 7.7. Okay, anyways, we're just gonna keep it like this. We'll just keep it real. This is what I see in the facilitator's guide. So today we're covering how to capture leads on open houses. We'll go over the benefits of open houses, some of the best practices, and look at the prepare, prospect, and pursue model. So was everybody able to meet with their accountability partner, and what were your ahas from working with them? Anybody want to share? You guys hear me okay?
I didn't realize we had accountability partners. I mean, are you talking like Mara?
I think in the Ignite class as a whole, you are paired up with somebody from, I took Ignite years ago, back in 2018, I think, and we had accountability partners.
Yeah, I don't think we've been assigned those.
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, it's always a good time to pair up with somebody in class so you can compare notes and maybe ask questions of each other, like what was your experience with the open house? What did you find cumbersome? What could you use help with? That kind of thing. Let's see. So today, let's see. By the end of the session, you'll be able to describe benefits of holding open houses, ID best practices, and be prepared to hold an open house. So you want to start thinking about what you learned today. Let's consider questions you might have, find a partner. As we go through the content today, listen to hear if your question is answered. So who wants to read this golden box for me?
I'll do it.
Great.
Nothing else about your business will have as big an impact on it as the number of leads you have.
Very good. Thank you for reading that. What does that mean to you?
I think that's, well, your lead is where you're going to get your business from. So if you have no leads, you have no business.
Exactly. Leads, you'll hear this over and over again, I'm sure, in Ignite. Leads, leverage, and listings. So if you don't have leads, yeah, you don't have any business, right? So why do we begin this session on open houses with this quote? Number one, it's your job to get leads. This is the way to impact the number of leads you have. It says this is one way to impact your leads. So is anybody else doing any other kind of lead generation besides open houses? This is just one pillar that you could use to gain business.
No, I'm not. I think open houses has been my only thing, really. I've done a few phone calls, but nothing like open houses.
Cool. See, I
I've
saw
done
you.
some door knocking
Okay, great.
before my open houses.
Awesome. Door knocking. That's great. How did that go?
Not too bad. I have a couple of people who said they may be needing to sell or buy in the next year or so. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
And did you track the number of people that you talked to?
I have a good idea of how many I talked to. I'm not keeping track of it though.
Okay, that's one thing about leads is you'll want to have a system on how to track the leads and get their contact info,
Mm-hmm.
put them in your database.
Yeah.
In Command, there's a great way to have a reminder set up for you so you can remember those people and when to contact them next. And you always want to set a priority level, whether it's medium, high, or no priority. So yeah, that's a great way to keep in contact with those people that you talk to during door knocking and open houses and any of your pillars of lead generation. So as a new agent, open houses are fun, easy, low cost ways to find leads. Your goal in holding an open house is not to sell the home, not only to sell the home, it is to put yourself in the path of opportunity, the business opportunity to meet people, add to your database, and set appointments, especially with interested buyers. For many agents, holding open houses is their number one strategy to build a strong business, and it can be yours too. Follow a proven model, and buyers and sellers will come to you. Other visitors may be actively looking to buy or sell. Nevertheless, a memorable and favorable impression can generate referrals now and business further down the road. So an important thing, since we're talking about open houses today, it's important to know this before engaging in in-person activities, consult your jurisdiction on COVID precautions. I don't know anybody that's still doing that. But it's totally your preference. If you, I still see hand sanitizer and booties at open houses because of the COVID precautions, but I don't think there's any other limitations that the city or state is putting on us for that. Back when COVID started, we were like letting one family in at a time or one group of visitors in at a time and having them sign in, and then we'd have the Lysol wipes or Clorox wipes or whatever, and then we'd wipe everything down in between each person that wanted to come in. It was crazy times. But today, I don't think anybody's doing that. Has anybody had any other experience with that?
Mm,
Okay, good. Good to know.
Thank-
Okay, so dispel limiting beliefs. Let me see. Okay, your booklet is different from what I'm seeing here. So what other reasons would you hold an open house? Can anybody?
Exposure.
Exposure, yeah. Tell me more about that.
Well, you're getting your name out there. You're talking to potential people, buyers. You're giving them your business card. You're taking down their names, putting them in your lead generation or your spear.
Mhm.
So, and you're also learning the business. I think you're looking at the home, how many bedrooms, square footage, what questions are being asked. So you're learning about homes
Mm-hmm.
to look for.
Yep.
And having your sign out front too.
Yes. That
I-
is a great, another thing is like, I like to specialize in a specific area of town. And so my sign is always on the corner, like every weekend, my sign is there. So people are seeing that every weekend and getting to know my name. So it's brand recognition too.
I think also for me, I'm learning communication because that has not been a strong suit for me. So I'm learning to send information back to the agents that I'm doing their open houses for.
Yes, they love the feedback. Sellers want to know the feedback. They want to know if there's anything that needs to be fixed or what they love about the house. So sellers in your booklet says who benefits from an open house? Sellers do because of they get the feedback from the public, from their nosy neighbors.
Listing agent sometimes does.
Listing agent, yep, they definitely benefit. Buyers benefit.
I think the buyer's agent benefits too.
Yeah, yep. Buyers benefit because you can get a lot of people into the open house within a small period of time without having a buyer rep agreement. And that benefits the seller too. Neighbors benefit because they can come and see if maybe their friend or relative want to buy that house. Like, is it something that a relative or friend that wants to move into the neighborhood would like? Yeah, the agent also benefits.
Sometimes the people that come through the house benefit because like I just did one Sunday and I gave these people some information on some stuff that they wanted. And so they benefited.
Great. So also when I do open houses, I like to pull a list of active, pending, and recently sold homes. Because people will say, well, what happened to that house? That was on the market for, I don't know, 18 months or whatever. Did it ever sell or what happened? So I will have that in my information that I bring to the open house with me. What else? So yeah, the agent benefits because of the information that you learn about the neighborhood. When you go door knocking before you open houses, you can ask the neighbors, what do you love about this neighborhood? What brought you to want to live in this neighborhood? And then that's information you can share with people visiting your open house. Did that make sense? I hope that.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. So this slide says dispel limiting beliefs. Do you guys have is there anybody here that has not held an open house? I'm sorry, I can't see everybody.
I haven't.
I haven't either.
Okay, so is there anything that's stopping you from holding an open house?
I haven't held one. I just finished like getting all of my like realtor association stuff out of the way and was just busy this past weekend, but I'm ready. I'm ready to shadow.
Awesome. So you haven't had your shadow yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I think is it a requirement to do a shadow before you hold your own open house?
Maybe not like a strict like requirement, but I mean, I feel like anybody that's like starting out would probably prefer it that way, and they kind of push that on to you just so you can, not know what you're doing when you're there.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking Ignite participants were required to do a shadow first, but that
I
may
mean,
not.
maybe, but
Mhm. So it sounds like maybe you're just not prepared. You feel like you need to get all your licensing and dues and everything signed up for before you can have an open house. But now that you've got that, you're ready. Anybody else? Are there any other limiting beliefs on what's holding you back from holding an open house? Anybody?
I just haven't started working yet, but I think that when I do, I probably will want to shadow first too.
Mhm. Okay. Um. So how do I? Okay, so the list they have here is they don't have a listing to hold an open house. And the opposite side of that would be, you don't have to have a listing. You can go to the MLS and find another listing in our brokerage network that would like to have an open house done. If you don't have signs, that's another limiting belief. You could borrow signs from the market center. We always have plenty in the storage room back here to borrow. Let's see, it says, I may not know the answers to the questions the visitors have. That's a good one. So if you don't have the answers, what would you do?
I call the listing agent. If it's something I don't have, like if I don't have internet, because I've done one that I don't have the internet, just text the listing agent and ask her.
Yeah, that's a great answer. You can also, before the open house, you can ask the title company, whatever title company you use, to send you a property brochure, the demographics of the property. I like AmeriTitle, honestly, because they're fast. I asked for a pre-listing packet this morning, and within 3 minutes I had it back. And that's always, they always are like that. It's not just a one-off. But you can use any title company
What did you call it again?
AmeriTitle.
But what did you call the package?
Oh, the pre-list pack.
Pre-list pack.
And then I asked for a demographic list for the neighborhood. I was gonna see if I could pull it up real quick here.
I haven't done that. Good.
So this is what they send me. This is the pre-list pack. This is a demographic of the neighborhood. So I'll tell you what kind of people live in the neighborhood, if there's mostly families or single people. It shows you the age distribution, how many homes are vacant, owner occupied homes, and rented homes.
Oh, that's a good thing to know.
And then they also sent me this. I asked for covenants, codes, and restrictions, CC&Rs for the neighborhood. And it's not guaranteed that this is the most recent document. With this one does not look like recent document at all. So you always want to ask the seller if they have a more recent document than that.
So, Eleanor, was this company, were you the listing agent for this particular house, and were you working with this title company?
I am the listing, well, I will be the listing broker for this property. And I do use AmeriTitle frequently. Is that what your question was?
That's correct. Because
Okay.
as a person who's just holding an open house or somebody else, will they even entertain us just randomly sending an email and getting these details?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they will work, because a lot of times you're just doing research for the property. And, yeah, they will send, and this is public information, so they'll send it to you. Even if it was just a neighbor wanting to know, what's going on in that neighborhood.
And they just do it free of charge, no commitment, nothing like that?
Free of charge. Yep, it's public information, so they'll share it with you.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, you're building a relationship with this title company also, when you do things like this, aren't you?
Yeah. Some title companies will ask you, since I'm giving you this information, will you put me on the listing? So there might be a level of commitment there. And I mean that they'll want you to put them on the listing so that they are the agent to close the sale for you. I'm kind of jumping around. Okay, so going back to limiting the beliefs, that's a great way to get answers to your questions that visitors may want to know. You can also have somebody with you. You can buddy up with a lender to come with you to the open house. Just to have a second person there, and then they'll be able to answer questions from visitors about how to get pre-approved or what they need to do to get a loan. The next one says open houses don't really work because most people look online. How do you guys feel about that one?
I disagree. I think it helps you actually, because when people look online, then they come to your open house.
Yeah, because when they see the house online first, through homes.com or Zillow or whatever, it'll say there's an open house. So that's how they find out about it. And so they can come inside without an agent. Any other limiting beliefs you guys might have?
I think it's hard for me because communication is a big thing for me. So I think that saying the right things or being confident in what I'm saying to the potential buyers is the hard part for me.
Yeah, so communication, I heard that word in there. We have in our network, we have something called the Daily Dialogue. Has anybody signed into that yet?
No.
So you should be getting an email weekly of all the events that are happening in the market center. And if you're not signed up on that list yet, then you'll want to talk to your market center tech trainer and they will be able to get you on that distribution email list. And you'll see all the events that happened daily, weekly, monthly. Let's see. So with the Daily Dialogue, they practice scripts every day. We don't call them scripts anymore. They call it a dialogue. I like to call it just a conversation because really you're just having a conversation with these visitors at your open house. You don't want to sound scripted. You want to sound genuine. You want to sound like you're really interested in what their needs are and tailor your conversation toward that. Let's see. So we talked about these. Oh, this one says you won't feel safe during an open house, which I can understand that. People that know me or you've seen me in person know that I'm not tall. I'm a tiny little person. I'm not even 5 foot tall. So I feel this, like a lot of times I do not feel safe in public spaces, but So I like to have a lender with me. I like to have a title person with me for that reason. I don't always, just because the areas that I hold open houses, I know the area and I know a lot of people in those areas, so. You can also have, I heard somebody else say they had a home inspector come and buddy with them during an open house, and I think that would be really great for you guys just starting out in this industry. They'll be able to tell you what to look for in a home, red flags. They'll be able to tell you what to look for in crawl spaces and attics and things that the everyday buyer's not gonna see. So home inspectors, that's a good tip. What else here? So we've dispelled the limiting beliefs. Should every house be held open? Under what circumstances would you not recommend holding an open house?
A major fixer-upper.
Right. Well, actually, that house I showed you the CCNRs on just a few minutes ago, that house it's a hoarder house, I'll just be honest with you. They're giving the people till the end of October to move out, and I know for sure there's cats in there, there's dogs in there. It's kind of a smaller home, under 1,200 square feet, I think. And the guy that lived there was disabled and really couldn't do much to the house to fix it up or clean it up, and so that kind of thing. I don't think it would be very welcoming to have people come to that open house. So that's one reason, yeah. Any other reason?
I had one that had no electricity, but I didn't know until I got there. It was like, well, I guess we're doing it anyways.
Oh my gosh. And who was the listing? I don't know. No, don't tell me.
Somebody important. I have no idea. I mean, I'm not gonna give his name.
Yeah, I mean, they should have told you that beforehand.
Well, he didn't know either.
Oh, yikes. Okay. Yeah, you definitely want to have power, especially in these coming days in the fall when the light is really dim. Yeah, you want to have power.
I was amazed at how many people showed up. I was
Oh,
like,
really?
I had to go out and direct traffic.
Wow. So another one would be when it's not necessary to show. So if you have a home that's listed very competitively and you know that there's going to be multiple offers, you might just have people climbing over each other to get in, and that probably would not be very effective for generating leads and getting to know people visiting you. It'll be hard to have a conversation with them and get to know people. And create rapport. Let's see. During COVID, says. So it says briefly cover where you are in the agenda today. So I'm in the participants handbook, and it says benefits of open house. So I don't know if we actually covered this. So some benefits are, it's inexpensive. All you really need are signs, and you can borrow them from the market center here. And then you can post on social. You don't have to boost it, which, I mean, you can, and that it does cost money to do that. So it's a prospecting tool. Of course, this is what we're talking about, is generating leads. So to get prospects. Another reason would be for high ROI, so high return on investment. Nowadays, I want to say the average number of guests I have is probably 7 guests, so it's not a lot. And in 2 hours, you can have good conversations with that amount of people, get to know them, get to know what their wants and motivations are. and get their contact info. What do you guys say about the quality of leads at an open house?
Well, sometimes, some of them, like I had one that told me he didn't need an agent, and I do think he put an offer in on the house.
Hmm,
You know, that's fine. I still learn from them. It's kind of the way I look at it, because he was asking all sorts of questions, because he's a fixer-upper guy, so I still felt like I learned something from it, but there was not gonna be, he's not a lead guy.
okay. I mean, if he's an investor, he could be a good lead.
That's true.
Yeah. He could be looking for those fixer-uppers.
Well, and I'm hoping he'll call me when he wants to sell the one he's just fixed. We'll see.
Yeah, stay in contact with him, right? Yeah.
Told me he doesn't want an agent, so I don't know.
When he gets busy, though, if he gets really busy, he'll want an agent,
Or when it doesn't sell.
right? Yeah. The quality of the leads in open houses that I've seen lately is pretty good. Like 6 out of the 7 people that usually come, I get their contact info and I know the reason they're at the open house. They're either looking for an agent to help them sell, they're just starting out looking at homes and learning the process. They really don't know the process yet, so you want to ask for that appointment. Let's see. I'm gonna go back to the guide here.
Ideally, at what point do you ask the person coming in that does he have a realtor or not? Is it after all the conversation when he's about to leave, or the moment somebody comes in, you just bombard with him with these questions?
It's different for everybody, I think. It depends on how the conversation goes. That's a good question. Thank you. Sometimes you can tell they don't want to answer any questions. They really don't want to have a conversation, and I'll just get it out right away. Are you working with an agent? And then I'll have them come sign in. And I have a paper sign-in sheet. People do it differently. You can do it electronically or with paper. I have a paper sign-in sheet and I ask for their name, their phone number, email, and then their realtor name. And I don't say yes or no, I just ask for the realtor's name. Because if it's a no, then they'll just put an NA or a dash through it. But if it's a yes, they'll put their agent's name. So if in that case, if they're not wanting to have a conversation with you, I'll just ask right away. But what I normally do is I say, welcome in, thank you for coming to my open house. How are you doing today? And I'll just kind of start slowly like that. And then I'll hand them a flyer and they'll usually just start looking around. And if they have questions about the house, they'll ask right away or after they're showing, after their viewing of the whole house. Sometimes, okay, so let's back up here. When they come in, I give them the open house flyer and I try to kind of lead them to the kitchen, which is where I usually sit and have all my flyers on the sign-in sheet. And I have a bowl of candy there, the Werther's originals. And I do that because they're little gold wrappers and it's eye-catching. So a lot of times kids will ask if they can have a candy, and then it brings their parents to the table and I can have a conversation with them. And then at that point, that's when I'll ask if they have an agent.
I've tried using the sign-in sheet, but even irrespective whether the answer to the question, do you have an agent, is yes or no, people don't fill in their own details. They just leave it blank, the email, phone number. So you have to ask them again, and it feels a little, I don't know, people are a little skeptical about that point. So yeah, not a lot of people are filling in those details. Again, that's what my experience has
So I have a little trick for that. When I have these open houses, I will fill in the top row myself. I'll fill it in with a fictitious name, phone number, email, and I put my name as the realtor at the end. And it just shows, it's not telling them how to fill it out, but it's actually like an example of how I want them to fill it out. Sorry, there's an ambulance coming by. So when I put in that name, phone number, email, it's kind of like an example of how I want them to fill out the form. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's not a totally fictitious name and email, phone number. I use the name of my lender. You can use whoever you want. You could put your dad's name there. But that's also an easy way for me to remember to ask if they're pre-approved for a loan, for home loan yet. And then I'm like, oh, my lender was just here. Here's his name and phone number. If you want, you can give him a call. You can write down this phone number, or I can text it to you. And then if they want me to text it to them, then they give me their phone number so I can send it. Michelle, I see your hand is raised. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I have the same issue as that last gentleman. And it's not so much that they don't know how to fill out the sign-in sheet. It's that they know that their information is going to be used for contacting them, and they don't want to give it out. And I have felt that way myself a few times going into open houses. Because as an agent, I just don't want to put all my information there. And so I get where they're coming from. So it's hard to not feel pushy.
So what if you're feeling like they think you're being pushy, I just say, this is for the seller. The seller wants to know how many people and who's coming through their house.
That's what I say. I say, this information is for the seller. And so that the selling's agent can let the seller know who came through their house. It's also for safety issues. And it's in case your agent does want to, I don't know, ask the seller's agent a question, we'll know who that was. And they don't want to give their information. I think so many people today are inundated with text messages and emails that they're like, you know what, if I want to buy the house, I'll contact you kind of thing. So they just don't put their information down.
So there's
another thing I've had happen, unfortunately, is they give me a fake email and phone number.
Oh yeah.
Oh, how do you get past that?
So a lot of times I'll ask, well, if you don't want me to contact you, just put the name of your realtor at the end and I'll contact them for feedback.
Oh, I like that.
So, and then if they say, oh, I don't want to give you my realtor name, I'll just say, well, this is what they do full time. This is their job. It's their job to get feedback.
Okay, that might work. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. There was another thing I was going to say and I forgot what it was now. Yeah, okay, so I do get people that put fictitious names, emails, phone numbers on there, and you can kind of tell sometimes they're just looky-loos, and I just let that go. I had one guy sign in as Mr. McFlurry, and he honestly, he came in, grabbed some candy, a water bottle, and toured the house and left. Like he was in and out in 5 minutes. So I was like, okay, fine. What do you do? You kind of just have to let those slide.
I think so. And I think also putting your business card, like I take it and I put it on top of like the wash machine and the dryer and the bathroom countertops, and because they might grab it without you looking. In fact, I had to do that. At the end, he said, well, I said, oh, do you want my business card? And he goes, I already have it. And so, they don't want to talk to you, but they might take your information quietly.
Yeah, and I've done that too. So what I like to do is I'll put 5 business cards around the house. And then when I go to get them at the end, I know how many were taken.
That's a good idea. I don't count mine. I was smart.
Yeah, so that's a good tip too. Leave your business cards around because sometimes, yeah, they don't want to be known to be
Yeah.
a real prospect. So what else here? Are you guys following along in the participants guide also?
I was trying to follow along in my book, but it's a little bit different.
It is a lot different, I'm finding.
So
Yeah. So on 7.5, it says best practices. And it says set goals, pick the right house, prepare and practice, pick the time, prepare stats, and be safe. So I guess these slides are not in order, or maybe I'm just not going at the same speed on both things. Okay, so we did who benefits. The benefits of an open house. Okay, we did that. The quality of the leads. Yeah, these are, I feel like open house leads are high quality. And really good use of your time. If you don't have anything else to do, this is a great way to get leads. So open houses are also very useful prospecting tools for lead generation. That is to meet buyers, sellers, and other agents. Because the main thing you invest when preparing an open house is time. The return on investment can be tremendous. You can generate leads, quality or qualified leads, and potentially get a closed deal. Yeah, that is very true. So the meaningfulness of being face to face at an open house, I feel like that's really important, being face to face. You can, for many reasons, you can mirror and match them. I feel like you can have a genuine, real conversation, finding about what their wants, needs are. It's, well, being face to face, you can see their facial expressions. You can tell from their tone if they're frustrated about something in a home or their excitement in their voice about something in the home, like, oh, look at this big, beautiful soaking tub. And I've always wanted one of these. You can hear that in their tone. So mirroring and matching, have you guys heard of that term?
what was it?
Mirroring and matching?
Hmm.
You guys may have gone over this in Ignite already, I'm not sure, but mirroring and matching is a way to create rapport and get into flow with their conversation. So if they're standing with their hands on their hips, you can do that too. That's called mirroring and matching. If they say, oh, look at this, and they point at the, I don't know, they point at the crack in the ceiling. And you're like, oh, yes, I see that. You can, mirror and match point and say, yes, that's very concerning, and match their tone. Okay, so what type of leads are you most likely to get from open houses? Buyer leads. I want to say that's half and half though. I want to say it's buyers and sellers. I get a lot of neighbors being looky-loos, and they're really not intending on making a move or thinking about moving anytime, like in the next 6 months or so, but maybe in 12 months, maybe in 18 months, or maybe in a couple years. Like maybe they have teenagers graduating from high school and they're going to become empty nesters, and so they want a smaller single level home somewhere. So get to know them and find out, you know, what they're happy with about their current home. You can ask them what they love about their home and what they don't love about their home. And you can ask, what would make you want to leave your home that you love, that you've lived in for so long? And their answers are going to give you the reason of why they would want to move. So ahas, do you guys, what have you gotten so far? Am I am I teaching you anything new? Hopefully this is new to you guys and you're learning something. What are
I
your
like the title company. I hadn't thought of that. Sorry.
great?
I think also the tip about like, you know, working and bringing a home inspector is a super good tip because I know a lot of, especially like first time home buyers, or that's like the scariest part for them is the home inspection. You know, if they find a house they really like, and then, you know, the inspection could make or break whether it's really like worth to buy it for them. So I thought that was a really good tip.
Great. Do you have a home inspector that you like to use?
I don't. I'm kind of just doing some research, talking to other agents in my market center office to see, you know, if they have one that they recommend. But yeah,
I think in your market center hub, there's probably a list of preferred vendors in there.
Yeah.
You can find vendors that work in your area that way. Michelle, I see your hand again. How are you doing?
Good. Sorry for all the questions.
No, you're good.
As far as having somebody buddy with you, like an inspector,
Mhm.
are we supposed, how do we, I mean, they have a job and a company to run too. So like, do we compensate them? How do we get them to be willing to just donate their time for that? I'm a little confused on that one.
So especially locals, they really like to be at open houses because they're lead generating too.
Yeah, they make good money off of us.
Yeah, and then you create a relationship with them, and hopefully they refer you some clients and you refer them some clients. It just becomes a partnership.
Interesting. Okay, thanks.
Sure. Anybody else? Any other ahas or questions?
For anybody who wonders, we use Mike Patterson in Roseburg.
Mike Patterson, is he a home inspector?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's who we.
Okay. Sorry, Michelle, I just put your hand down. I wasn't sure if you had another question.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, great. So here in Salem, I don't know where you guys are from, sorry. But I like to use Pillar to Post. They're a good one. There's another one. Gosh, he's escaping my mind right now. What's his name? Cini is his last name. Brian Cini. He's with Win Home Inspections.
Win Home Inspections?
Yeah. I'm going to put my name and info in the chat.
Sweet, thank you.
Oops, that is work. So you're welcome to take that down and call, text, email if you have any questions. Okay, I feel like we're kind of behind. I feel like I'm talking a lot. So if you jot down your ahas in the participant guide, I feel like for me, when I write things down, I don't know what it is about, it's the connection of writing to my brain. I actually have a better memory that way. I can remember things. So we're on best practices. Okay, so setting goals for open houses. So we've talked about the benefits. Now let's go over the best practices to put in place and solidify your efforts. Okay, so it sounds like you guys went through the 6 personal perspectives, the E to P. With everything we do, it's essential to be purposeful in our mindset and our actions before your open house. Set concrete, achievable goals. For example, tell yourself your goal is to add 6 people to your database. Let's see. So explain important. Setting attainable goals and difficult goals are, I don't know. It's sometimes good to set harder goals because it helps you stretch and get out of your comfort zone. This is what they're getting at here. And it'll help maximize your return on investment. What other goals would you give yourself to plan your open house?
I think to learn something about that community or that area that you don't know about it, maybe.
Yeah, that's great. So door knocking, you could also say, okay, I'm gonna knock on 20 doors every day for the next 5 days leading up to the open house. And then that would be 100 doors. And then usually with 100 doors, you could have about 10 contacts and find possibly one deal that's going to happen in the future. So think back to earlier when we said the goals are not just to get appointments. Open houses are a great way to generate leads. So you're going to generate leads at the open house. You're also going to generate leads before the open house. And then you're going to follow up with the people that come through your open house. Ask them, what did you think? Can you see yourself living there? Or do you have a friend or family that might want to, that might be interested in the home? So picking the open house is a crucial step in the open house process. It's important to look for great and visible locations, preferably not more than 3 turns from a major road. So yeah, I can see how that's important because there are, I mean, you're probably going to be limited on how many signs you're going to put out. What other reasons might that be?
Traffic.
Traffic. Yeah, you want to get as many people to see your signs so the flow comes through, right? As you prepare for the open house, you should get to know the closest shopping centers, grocery stores, architecture, coffee shops. Remember, when you are choosing your house, you don't always have to pick the most expensive house on the market or the least expensive. Consider what the average prices are, the average price houses are selling for in your market, and adjust your choice of house based on this. So what other things should we think about before we pick the home to hold open? Okay, so the next page on 7.6 some things to think about for safety. Use the buddy system. We talked about that. Invite a lender or inspector or title person. Make sure your cell phone is charged. At the very least, bring a charger with you. Arrive early.
Yes, that one's important.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes longer to put up signs than you think.
Yes, yes.
I've gotten caught on that one.
Yeah. So another tip that's something that's happened to me is I'll hold an open house at a place that's kind of on the outskirts of town, and the Supra app won't update because you don't have the cell service. So update your app before you leave your home.
And get your CenturyLink up before you leave
Yes,
because
for CenturyLink too, yes.
now
Yep,
you can't open the house.
exactly, yep. So when you get to the house, you'll want to turn all the lights on. What other things for safety do you guys think would be helpful?
I bought, Costco has those little charging, they're only, they're like a little battery pack. And I think
Okay.
that's really good to have because I've had customers who couldn't start their car. So then they're stuck at your house. So I've had charged that, started their cars up with that. So that's a good handy thing to have. It's only $50, so it's not that bad.
It's good to have with you anyways.
Yeah, or your car doesn't start, but what's cool is you can use it for your phone or your laptop.
It has different ports. You can plug stuff in.
Yeah.
Yep. I actually used one, oh, I guess it was a while ago, 5 years ago or so. I was at the office and I'd left my lights on and somebody had one of those in their trunk and I was like, oh, thank heaven. And after that I bought one, so I have one with me all the time.
Well, I had some clients that wanted to go look at a house after I got done with my open house, but my phone died. And so I couldn't call the agent. So they called the agent for me and I talked to the agent on their phone.
Oh my gosh.
I was way out in the country too, so it was like I was a learning experience.
Yeah. Have a charger wherever you go, whether you're showing houses or at the fair. So it also says to park on the street so that if there is an emergency, you can get out quickly. Check all entrances and exits. Okay, so this is what I like to do. I only keep the front door open and I make sure I'm close to the open house or the open door to visibly see who's coming in and out. And I lock all the other doors, the garage doors, the back door, the side door, I lock them all so that nobody can sneak in on me. And I leave the rolling garage doors down.
I usually stay outside.
Oh, why?
Well, if there's no one there, I just sit in my car and wait for somebody to show up. And when they show up, then I might go in. But for the most part, I usually stay outside.
So do you keep your flyers outside with you?
No, I put everything inside the house, set it all up, and everything. But then I wait outside. I either will sit outside by the front door or I'll just be out kind of mosey in the neighborhood a little bit, just close by.
I've heard one other person say that, and they bring a lawn chair and put it on the front porch or on the front lawn and wait for people to come in and welcome them that way.
Yeah, well, you draw attention.
Yeah, yep. And you could talk to neighbors that way too. That's a great way to talk to neighbors.
Yep. Yep.
Excellent, yeah. I noticed in here they don't talk about the red folder. Have you guys talked about that in class? So if you are ever at an open house, say you're alone and you have the sketchy guest come in and you get that vibe, whatever it is, listen to your gut. Like always listen to your gut. Because you're putting yourself in front of strangers you don't know who could come through that door. So,
No.
you want to make sure you have your principal broker's phone number in your, saved in your phone. There's an on-call principal broker phone. Do you guys all have that?
No, I need to do that. Yeah, I heard someone said that they call and request, we want to speak to Keller Williams. And then that's a hint that, hey, I'm in trouble.
Okay. So I'm not finding it on my phone right now, but I know that there is, oh, I think it's called the on-call.
It's on that list, I think, that you were mentioning earlier. They
Oh, yes,
send an-
it's in the hub. So
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. And so if you get that vibe, somebody sketchy is at your open house and you don't know what to do, you call this phone number and you tell them, hey, I'm at such and such at an open house. I left a red file on my desk. And they will instantly know what that means. And they will call 911 for you, whether it's an emergency or not. The cops will come just for your safety. I mean, that's what they're for is to support you and keep you safe. So I've never had to use it, thankfully, but it's a really great safety net. I feel like, I mean, I never forget that phone number's in my phone. It's always going to be there and it's there to help protect me. So do not be afraid to use that. So again, if you're at an open house, you're by yourself and you don't know what to do about the sketchy guest, you call this phone number and say, hey, I'm at an open house. You don't say anything about the sketchy guest. You just say, I've got this red folder on my desk and I need the information in it. And then they will instantly know, once you say red file, they will call 911 for you.
That's good.
Don't be afraid to use that.
Is that only for Keller Williams or do all brokerages use that?
That's just for our brokerage,
Okay, gotcha.
for our network. Yeah. Any other safety tips that you guys can think of?
Well, it probably doesn't hurt to have mace or some of that stuff on you.
Mhm. Yeah, a self-defense class might be a good thing to do. In Salem here, there's I think it's called Zinshaw martial arts class you can take, and they'll just teach you how to release a hold, how to get out of a hold. If they've got you by the waist, they'll tell you like your elbow is your strongest point and use it. So yeah, self-defense class is always a good thing to do. Let's say prepare and practice. What other things would you do to prepare and practice for an open house? You'd prepare by getting the list pack from the title company or the listing agent. You could prepare, you could get the demographics. You'll want to plan your open houses. I mean, not your door knocking schedule. Not everybody door knocks, but
Print
it
your
is.
RMLS.
What's that?
Print the RMLS, make sure they're out there. Balloons. I like balloons.
Yeah, they're eye-catching. Red and silver are great to catch attention.
I haven't, I mean, I still need to shadow, but some things that I've kind of been thinking about and seeing and hearing from just different sources is like a lot of people, like especially people who are, just like window shopping or curious about like how the market's doing. So like market data as far as like mortgages and like, just like house price statistics and stuff in recent months, years. Cause I know like a lot of people right now, like when I'm like talking to them and kind of networking with people, they'll be like, oh, well, how's the house market? How is the housing market right now? Is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? And it's like knowing those, or at least like having it pulled up on like your laptop or a printout or something, I think is helpful.
Yeah, that is another good way to prepare through command. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up here. So hopefully you guys are all familiar with command. Why is it not going to this opening page? You can put yourself in command and then open neighborhoods. This is probably why it's slow. So I put myself in here. Can you see my screen? And then I added these neighborhoods to my own profile. And then you can hit preview here. And then when you hit preview, you get all the stats for the neighborhood. So you could put in the neighborhood that you have your open house for, and it'll tell you what the average list price is, how many listings there are in the neighborhood. Further down, it gives you the average price per square foot in the area, how many days the homes are staying on the market. And then it gives you the actual sold prices and price per square foot and days on market and all that. I didn't hear anybody say they saw my screen on that. Hopefully you saw that.
I see it.
Okay, great.
Recently sold and all that.
Yeah.
Pending. Now you got that from command?
This is in command, yeah.
Explore Evan. Can you post how you got that on command?
Yes. So I'll explain it to you again.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. So this is my profile. I put myself in as a contact in command. And then I added these neighborhoods.
Okay.
And this is actually where I live. So this is telling me what's happening in the area that I live in. So all of these neighborhoods are in here. And then I hit preview here.
Oh, I haven't seen that button.
And this is about Evans Valley. This is the active market summary. And then you scroll down, and these are all the reasons why people wouldn't want to live here, because it's outdoorsy, there's lots of nature and sightseeing, hardworking people. And then you see the market snapshot on the active listings here, and then the sold listings here. So the average days market in my neighborhood is 56 days. The average price per square foot for sold homes is 339 square feet. And compare that to the active. That's a lot higher than the active.
Yeah.
And so you can show this to your guests, and all of a sudden you become the market expert.
That's really cool. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, and then if you notice here, there's lots of different neighborhoods. So if you just scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the other neighborhoods. Oh, here we go. So there's only two that are listed for some reason, but Forest Ridge and Pioneer Village. And then you can click on that, and then it goes to this neighborhood, Forest Ridge, and it gives you the same stuff. Hopefully that answered your question.
Good, thank you. I haven't seen that part of it. I haven't played with that part of that command.
Okay, cool. It's something just fun to play with and see what's happening in all the other neighborhoods around you. So before you host your open house, prepare a list of questions you may be asked and practice your conversation starters. Some questions you might face will test your knowledge of the house and your market. So that's a great way to have those answers by doing that market snapshot. Potential clients might ask why the house is for sale, when the home was last renovated, if the home has any structural issues, and how long the house has been on the market. These are questions that I like to ask the listing agent if it's not my listing. They most likely they've gotten all this information from the seller already, and they would have that information readily available to you. Are there any other questions that you've come up with or that have come from guests that you were not able to answer or had a hard time answering?
I had one where the sewer, it's an old home, like really old, almost 100 years old. But the sewer and the well were too close together. So they had to put blue lights on the well water.
Mm-hmm. To see the bacteria and all that, yeah. Yeah. And again, that's something the seller would be able to tell the listing agent. Listing agent would be able to tell you. So once you've captured the contact information, did I missed something here? So upon arrival, you want to have them sign in. Some agents make it a requirement stating it's for safety measures. You can even ask them to leave something of value. I've never seen anybody do that. Yeah, it says they'll ask for car keys or a driver's license. You can use, let's see. Yeah, explain that it's for safety. I've never had to do that at an open house, and I've never had another agent do that. And you can go ahead and tell them that it's to help you follow up with them later, and then they'll say, well, I don't need you to follow up with me or whatever, and you can have that conversation. Well, the seller wants to know who's been in their house. And then again, if they don't want you to follow up with them, you can ask for their realtor's name and follow up with them. So once you've contacted or got their contact info, you'll have plenty of opportunity to wow them with your technology and expertise after the event. A lot of times if it's a seller lead, if they live in the neighborhood and they are thinking about selling in a couple years, put them in your database and put them on the neighborhood nurture so they can get an update, whether it's bi-weekly or monthly. Either way is great to do to keep dripping on them. If you don't use a sign-in sheet, do you know other ways to get their contact info? What other ways can you get their contact info? So one thing you can do is ask them if you want to see other homes that are like this. This house may not be a perfect fit for you. Can I send you some other homes that that might be of interest to you? They say, yes, great. Let me get your email and I'll send them to you. Sometimes they want you to text it to them. So yeah, great. Give me your phone number and I'll text it to you. So pick the time, it says here. I feel like every market has the best time. They have a different best time to hold an open house. I feel like in, let's say, in Silverton, because that's where I live, Sunday afternoons are good in Silverton because it's their leisure time and people are coming home from church or the grocery store, and you can catch them on the way home or on the way out to do their activities. Also in West Salem, that's where I like to hold a lot of open houses. It's a big school community, high school students and there's a lot of elementary schools in West Salem. Somehow there's a lot, but I like to have open houses after work time between 3 and 6 p.m. because you're catching people picking up their kids from school and heading out to activities. You're catching them coming home from activities, and just before dinner time, that's a great time to get people in to an open house. So the time that you choose for open house is important. When you know your market well and have connected with it, picking the right time to host an open house should be simple. Open houses have been known to work in any market at all dates and times. So know your market in order to drive the most traffic through the open house. Picking the time for your open house goes hand in hand with picking a theme. If you're having an open house on a Sunday afternoon during football season, know the game scores or have the game on TV. A lot of people, actually the guy that I shadowed with, it was during football season and he had the game on. It drove me crazy, but he had the game on and it was attractive to some of the guests. I'm not a sports person, so I would not do that. But okay, so what are other ways you could have like a themed open house? What other themes would you have? So I can think of one, 4th of July. And balloons, you could put red, white, and balloons, red, white, and blue balloons on your signs. You could hand out those sparklers. On any of those holidays, you could do that for. Labor Day. Another agent had those squishy balls, those stress balls, and had it had their logo printed on it. And then, it's, I don't know, Labor Day. That's what they had. So plan and set goals for a future open house. What date and time? So price range, what are you guys planning to do for, like, how are you going to pick your open house? I'm going to pick on somebody. Emma?
Wait, what do you mean by the question? How do you pick your open house?
How would you choose a home to hold an open house at if you don't have any listings?
Oh, well, like for Eugene and Springfield, we get like weekly, or anybody can send out an email to all the agents for hosting, like for open houses they want to do. So just
Mhm.
going through those and overviewing the MLS information and everything and seeing if that's something you're interested in. But somebody
Mhm.
posts in that like probably every other day. So it's just a great opportunity to see what's out there and to take the opportunity to get lead generation.
Great. Great
Also,
answer.
I think you want a house that hasn't been on the market very long.
Yep. Or a house that has had a price reduction recently. That would generate more lookers. I like to choose a home that's not too high and not too low. I like to get an average priced listing. Cause in the higher price range, like if $1 million home is not an average price point in your area, I would suggest not holding a $1 million home open because there are fewer buyers for that property. Also, I wouldn't choose a fixer-upper like we talked about before, just because it's not very pleasant to show those hoarding houses. So let's see what else. What are the benefits of holding open house at the same time as other open houses? So again, you can go through the MLS and find out what other homes in the neighborhood are being held open at the same time. And thinking about that, bringing people into your open house, you could say, oh, this other house is also available, and you can point them in that direction, and the other agents will do the same thing. Last weekend, actually, I had an open house in West Salem, and I found out a friend of mine, another agent, not at Keller Williams, was holding an open house just a few blocks away. And I posted on social and I said, hey, I see you're holding open a house where I'm not too far from you. And I told him, I'll be sure to send visitors your way. And then he was like, oh, thank you so much. And I'll be sure to do the same thing. And we were posting on each other's social to create some excitement around that. So that's fun. Says you may attract people looking at other open houses in the neighborhood. So non-traditional times for open houses. So that's like the 4 to 6. I don't feel like many agents do that 4 to 6 p.m. open house slot time. And I think that's a great time to get more people in because they're out and about already. They just have a few minutes and they're going to stop in. I actually had, at the last open house, I had a guest come from a house that I had opened about a month before. And they actually live around the block from this house that I had last week. And so it was nice to see a familiar face. Let's see. So if you've been practicing connecting with and knowing their market, then gathering the neighborhood stats for your open house will be fast. So you'll want to know the schools, employment. I feel like in Salem, there's a ton of state employees because of the Capitol. So those state employees, they love to get off early. They're a lot of times on Friday, they're out at 2 o'clock. And so if you're going to have an open house on a Friday, that's a great time to get them in because they're getting off early and they have time to spend with you. Also after school in West Salem, because there's a lot of schools after or before or after recreation times. There's a ballpark, a dog park. There's always a game, it seems like. Every weekend there's a game at a school. So that's a great time to have an open house before and after. Traffic commute times, yeah, before and after work. What other things might people coming to an open house desire to know about the neighborhood? I feel like safety, they want to know about safety. So I found out this about, from my coach. I didn't even know about it I just learned about this. It's called Megan's Law, and I guess there's a website called Megan's Law, and you can go in and put in an address or look at a map and find out if there's any sexual predators there. So that's a good thing to know, and you can give that website to your clients too, to help them find the area that they want to live in. So agent safety, we talked about that already, using a buddy system, parking on the street. Oh, I didn't say this. So when you're showing a house to a potential client that you don't really know yet, let them walk ahead of you. And you can walk behind them to create space, and so that you're not blocked in. They can't block you into a room. And if you're behind them, you'll always be able to run out the door faster than they can. You'll have an exit. Are there any other safety practices that you have learned that we haven't talked about?
So do you normally walk with every person who comes through the door? Do you normally follow them through the rooms, or do you stay still at one place and let them tour on their own?
Good question. So if I get them to sign in early, and if they already have an agent, a lot of times I'll let them walk through themselves, and I'll say, I'm gonna stay here by the front door and watch traffic come in, watch for people coming in, and feel free to look around and let me know if you have any questions before you leave. So I'll do that. I mean, most of the times recently, the open houses are pretty quiet, and I have time to walk through before another person comes in the door. And also depends on the sellers. If the sellers still live there and they have their personal items, a lot of times I do like to walk through and just make sure they're not looking in the drawers and stuff like that. I mean, they can look through closets, the part of the home that they're going to be buying, but not the personal furniture that the sellers are going to be taking with them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so when you say walk through with them, are you talking and telling them these main number of rooms and what the features are, or you just standing beside and let them do it on their own?
Oh yeah, I walk through and explain, this room has 2 huge closets. It's great for storage. I list the features and then the benefit. So they have this huge master bedroom. There's tons of storage here. If they have like a 4-car garage, look at this amazing garage. You can fit all your fun toys in here. So it's the feature and the benefit.
Okay.
Yeah. So on the agenda, I feel like we're behind. We're on prepare, prospect, and pursue. The difference between big and really big is how you manage your time and focus. So preparing for an open house, in your book, there's like a whole list of things to do on page 7.9 and 7.10. So you want to go through there. I like the showing kit. These are all the things that you want to bring with you. Most of these things I have in my car all the time. Like wet wipes, I don't have masks or hand sanitizer. I have my phone charger all the time. I have shoe covers. I have my own bottled water. In the heat of summer, I do like to bring cold water bottles. I'll put them in the fridge for guests. I always have a flashlight with me and a measuring tape. And toilet paper. Don't forget about toilet paper, because the houses that are vacant will a lot of times not have toilet paper. So you're gonna have a little kid that needs to go to the bathroom at one of your open houses. It's gonna happen. And they have a level. I don't have a level, but I think that is something that, I don't know, a potential buyer might want to see if the countertops are level or something. Paper towels, trash bags, measuring tape, and tissues. Those are all good things to remember to have in your showing kit.
Is this your personal list or is this in our book?
This is in your book
Sweet.
on 7/10. Okay, signs that you put out, make sure you remember where you put your signs so you can go pick them up when you're done. Just last weekend, again, I forgot 2 signs. Yeah, I had to go back the next day and pick them up. And signs disappear sometimes. It's annoying, but I don't know, a few months ago, I had a sign stolen. It's a pain in the butt. So you'll at least know where to pick them up from if you have a list or remember where you put them. And if they're gone, then they're gone. So it says use a prepare, prospect, and pursue model to approach your open house. Prepare, that's all the stuff on page 7/9 and 7/10. Remember, the goal for your open house is to get appointments with active buyers and sellers. So that's really important. I mean, if you're going to prepare and spend all this time, you want to make sure that your ROI is going to pay for that, your return on investment. So set high achievable goals, remove limiting beliefs, and focus on your success. Believe in yourself. So you've all passed the test by now, right? You're all licensed.
Yes.
Okay, so you're
I'm
fully
not.
Oh, you're not yet?
No, I haven't taken the test yet.
Okay, everybody else, you're fully prepared. You are fully trained to have an open house, get a client signed, and get it sold. So don't set that limiting belief that you're new, that you don't think you can do it, because you can absolutely do this. So how many leads do you intend to capture per open house? How many leads would you like to get from an open house? I think for me, since attendance has been low for open houses recently, I want to get at least one solid person in my database. And by that, I have their full name, I have their phone number, email, and their motivation. The motivation is why they are buying or selling. And it could be either downsizing, upsizing, they had a divorce, had a baby. They're moving to be closer to their grandkids. You want to know why they're moving. That's really important, because once you get them under contract and they start getting cold feet, you're going to remind them of their motivation. Aren't your grandkids worth it? Don't you want to be near them? It sounds hokey, but it works. And it's the truth.
Yes.
If they give you that reason, that is the truth. That's their reason for wanting to move.
Manipulation.
But it's their own manipulation. It's their own reason. So after you've done the hard work, like picking your open house, know the next few steps will involve maximizing potential client traffic at your open house. A lot of this will involve posting online in the days leading up to the open house. 93% of buyers use a website to find a house. So go where the people are. Post online about your open house. Okay, so then it wants me to read the TCPA. You guys have probably heard this before, but I was told not to skip this part. I have to read this verbatim. It says, warning, you must comply with the TCPA and any other federal, state, or local laws, including for B2B calls and texts. Never call or text a number on any do not call list, and do not use an auto dialer or artificial voice or pre-recorded messages without proper consent. Contact your attorney to ensure your compliance.
With that being read, can I ask a question?
Yeah,
So how do you actually use that website
which website?
to check to see if the phone numbers are on there? I mean, I've heard that warning a lot, but nobody has really said how to use it or how to do it.
You kind of, I feel like the website has updated since I've used it. So you just have to go to the website and follow the prompts. But what I like to do is I always just ask for permission at the open house. Say, I'd love to stay in touch with you, send you some homes that you might like. Is that okay with you? Yes, great. If not, then no, don't send them anything.
I figure if they give me the phone number and we're talking about it and I said, I'll send you something. They don't tell me no. I kind of figure that's.
Yeah. Yeah, if they give you the phone number and you talk about why they're wanting to buy or sell and ask them if it would help if you sent them information. Are you pre-approved yet? No, not yet. I just started looking. Oh, do you mind if I send you my preferred lender that can get you a pre-approval letter? And if you can't get pre-approved, they can coach you into doing that, into getting pre-approved. Does that make sense? So I always ask for permission. So honestly, don't tell anybody. I don't use the DNC list. I just ask for permission to stay in contact with them. If you have the permission, then stay in contact. But run the numbers through the DNC list. Okay. So you can get lots of good information from neighbors, door knock and ask them, what do you love about this neighborhood? So I said that before, whatever they say that they love about the neighborhood, you can use that to share with open house guests about living in the neighborhood. You can also ask them, what do you not like about this neighborhood? And then you can use that to say, well, wouldn't you want to live in this neighborhood that has that amenity? And you can say, oh, have you seen this house that's for sale there? It's a great price and they've got that amenity that you want. It doesn't always work, but you can do it. Okay. So people that come to open houses intend to know community and neighborhood information. Remember, they're buying a lifestyle. Be a community service real estate expert by knowing your market. Become familiar with the neighborhood. Learn the name of the park down the street, a popular restaurant in the neighborhood. Study the neighborhood history. Explore and utilize KW apps to maximize your lead generation and follow-up. Is there anything else about a neighborhood that a participant or a visitor might want to know? So pickleball is I don't think it's new anymore, but it's like the fastest growing sport in, I don't know, the world, in the country, I don't know. But it's a fast growing sport. And if you know where all the pickleball courts are in the area, in the city, that might be fun to know. Yeah, so get to know the amenities in the neighborhood and use them as a special amenity you can share with your visitors. So prepare, it says, so knowing financial and mortgage information is also something visitors might ask. So this is a great reason to have a lender come with you to the open house. So the lender can take they can do their own. So Keller, I don't know if you guys know, but we have a Keller Mortgage. There's a Keller Mortgage company. It's a affiliate company. I think they also have an app. No, it's in the KW app. There is a link at the bottom that you can share with people. You can send it to their phones. Says many clients report being thrilled with the simplicity of savings and service they receive from Keller Mortgage. So Keller Mortgage has, I forget what they call it. I think it's $1,000 for, it's a credit for the buyers. I'm not really familiar with what their current offerings are, but Keller Mortgage is a really good resource. They have, when I first started with KW, I used them a lot, and I want to say my clients have saved on average about $4,500 on their closing costs. $4,500, that's a lot. So I'm pretty sure they have kind of the same programs. They might have changed its name, but you'll want to look into that, kellermortgage.com, and find out what their current offerings are. So brush up on the home buying process. Open houses are a great place for first-time home buyers, and they will likely have a lot of questions. Get your visitors to download and use the KW app to leverage leads. The more familiar you are with first-time home buyer specifics, the more questions you'll be able to answer at your open houses. You don't have to know everything there is to know about mortgage information, just know enough to get them down the road, like the general interest rates. For more specific information, this is where bringing a lender can be beneficial. So a lot of times they just want to know what they need to be able to get pre-approved for a mortgage, and that's where the lender will be able to take over there. So build trust and rapport, provide value, capture information and quality leads. That's the prospecting part of it. And that's, again, we talked about being face-to-face, creating rapport, mirroring, matching. And I feel like they get to know you better and you can get to know them better and ask, it's just easier to ask questions and get answers face-to-face. So capture information and qualified leads. So capture their contact info and qualify the leads. So qualify them by What do you guys think that means? How would you qualify them? So one example, Mr. McFlurry, he was not a lead. He was qualified as looky-loo. Mr. Snacker. You could qualify them by knowing their motivation. If they are there looking for a home, say, oh, a friend of a friend, my niece's best friend's girlfriend wants to buy a house, and this might be something that they're looking for. And I feel like those a friend of a friend of a friend type of visitors are hardly ever a good lead. I do ask though, oh, do you mind if I get their phone number and I can follow up with them? And they'll say, well, I don't know if she's gonna want me to give her phone number out. And then I say, well, I do this for a living. This is my full-time job. If you can get their permission, I'd be happy to follow up with them and get their phone number. Sometimes that works, but hardly ever. So it says to refer to the blank notes in the participant guide. Prospect pursuit. On the slide, the slides don't tell me what page I'm supposed to be on in the participant guide, so I'm kind of. Okay, so page 711, 712 are the blank pages. I like question number 4 on page 13. It says, how many leads do you plan to capture with your open house? All of them. That's my answer, all of them. Everybody that comes in, I'm gonna get their name and phone number and email. If I don't get theirs, then I get their agent's contact info, or at least the agent's name, and you can always look up the agent online through the MLS or just Google them. They're on there, they're public. How many appointments do you plan to set as a result of your open house? I like to set 1 appointment. That's my goal, but depending on the leads, they're not always going to be ready to have that appointment. You kind of have to ask if they're pre-approved. If they're pre-approved, then I'd say that they're motivated and you want to get them into an appointment. It's for a buyer. So on page 15, you'll want to go through those ahas into achievement, turn ahas into achievement. Write down what you've learned, what you want to implement, what actions you'll take going forward. Think about the tools, models, and systems that you're going to use. It says, how will they make you accountable? So in Command, there is a way to track your leads on there also. I have not been using that. I've not been using Command to track those, so you'll want to either ask Mara or your MCTT to teach you how to track your leads in Command. Okay, so if you've read the MREA, the Big Red Book, then you've heard of leads, listings, and leverage. Open houses are all about leads, leads, leads. And open house is a great prospecting tool that requires mostly time and as an investment. Let's look at some of the ways you can use open houses to prospect for leads. I feel like we've gone through this already. An important part of the open house is to build trust and rapport with the foot traffic that visits the house. Greet everyone at the front door, even the kids and the dog. I don't think I would let a dog in a house that belongs to somebody else. Just because they're so unpredictable in new situations. That's totally up to you. Ask visitors. So these are some good questions you might want to ask. What brought you in today? Are you looking for a home in this neighborhood and price range? Have you been looking at other homes? I like to ask, how long have you been looking at homes? That will tell you, their answer will tell you if they're a career open houser. If, I mean to say, if that's what it's a hobby. They like to look at open houses as a hobby. Would you like to know more about the market and the neighborhood? If yes, get their contact info and send it to them. What do you like about this house that I can share with others? So this is a good question to ask the neighbors that come through. Be positive, upbeat. Remember, clients are thinking about their futures and lifestyles. Be a positive force in their imagination. I like to have music. I bring a little speaker with me so it's not so quiet. And I always put upbeat music on there. So we're at the end, it's 2:59. So if you guys need to jump off, I understand, but if there's anybody that wants me to go through the rest of the material, I'm absolutely up for it. During an open house, it's important to demonstrate and provide value. You can do this several ways, and the most obvious is to know your numbers. When you get to the day of the open house, make sure you know these things: the stats of your stats, your team stats, or your market center, if you don't have stats yet. Understand personality types and conversation styles. Everyone's different. Do they engage with you when you greeted them, mirror and match their behavior and their energy and interest levels? Says, what are some things you're able to offer visitors when they come through the open house? We talked about that. Consider partnering with a local business partner for a small discount on services like a raffle. Some people do this, they'll, and this is the way to get their contact info. They, you can make up little tags that they can put their name, phone number, email on to enter a drawing for a gift card, $25 gift card to Starbucks, Amazon, Walmart. So that's another way to get their contact info. One of the primary uses of the KW app is to be able to organize and consolidate lead information before, during, and after the open house. Make sure you capture information and qualify the leads. There are several ways you can do this. Have the sign-in sheet, customize a landing page in Command, offer the KW app, ask Ford questions: who, what, where, when, why. Have you guys gone through that, the Ford questions? Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. That's just a way to get the conversation started. So remember, you're here to get leads and get appointments and ask for their business. I always ask for the business. I always ask, would it help if we met? That's just a good general question to ask everyone. Would it help if we met to, so I can teach you about the home buying process, to get you connected with the lender, would it help if we met so I could show you more homes? Well, we have to meet and get that signed, that buyer rep agreement to be able to show homes. Yeah. So that's a good question that to always ask everybody, would it help if we met? And that's the way to get to the appointment. Would it help if we met? So pursue, I feel like pursue is all about the follow-up. Remember the goals of the open house to generate leads and sell houses. Make sure you follow up and convert leads after an open house so your time investment pays off. So you get their contact info and you put them on a drip system and you call, text, email them, whatever information they were looking for. Explain good practice after the open house to immediately update the database. So yeah, once you get their contact info, you put them in the database with all their contact info, any notes about their motivations, why they are moving, why they're selling, buying, and tag them for smart plans. So some of the things I have as tags are their location where they want to, where they're either selling or buying. You could tag them with the name of the city. You could tag them as a veteran, and so you get them in contact with your VA specialist, VA loan specialist. You could tag them as a pickleball player, so you can make sure to talk about pickleball next time you talk to them. After that, you want to reconnect with the visitors, reach out to them, thank them for coming, ask them if they're enjoying the KW app. Okay, so in your participant handbook, you want to go ahead and plan an open house. We're totally out of time, so you can do that on your own time. After you've hosted the open house, it's time to go back to the original goals you set for yourself in your participant guide. How many appointments did you intend to get out of the open house? How many did you end up with? Would you consider the open house a success? And what changes or improvements will you make for your next open house? So that's a good thing to review what went well and what didn't go well, and what you're going to do to improve your next open house. Anybody want to share an aha or what you've learned or what you think you might implement?
As we've been going, I've just kind of been making a checklist of things to do before an open house. So this has been good for me to, realize what I need to do before and after. So
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Let's see. I think we're at the end finally. Sorry, I kind of sped through the very last part, but if you go back through your guide, through your Ignite book, all this information is in there. So each day in Ignite, you grow in how you think, you feel, act, and implement what you've learned. From learning and ahas, you move forward to achieve your big life. And that's what we're here for, right? To achieve your big goals. Taking time to reflect on what you've learned is important in building your confidence and celebrating your growth. We'll do this activity each time after each learning session, so you can keep track of your learning and journey. And now we move to the important success system time, where we work in our business together while supporting one another. And then this is your time to reflect and touch base with your goals. Oh, so this says for the next 2 hours, we'll work together on our success system. So I think that's something that you do with Mara. Is that right? Oh, okay, the system of tracking. So every day, this is a great way to keep in contact with your people. 10 conversations with your sphere, 10 contacts with your database, 10 handwritten notes, and use the 10-5-1 model for social media engagement and other enrichment. So the 10-5-1 in social media, have you guys gone through that? Okay, so I think it's 10 likes or 10 likes on other people's comments or other people's posts, 5 responses to their posts, and then 1 conversation. I think that's what it is. Engagement, yeah, 1 engagement conversation. It says you'll be accomplishing many things, many of these goals during your success system time. Keep doing these activities outside of class time, our time together as well. During the final update time, you may also write notes and engage with social media if time allows. Because the job of the real estate agent is lead generation. It's not just the first job, it is your job to lead generate. Practice conversations and dialogues. So at, I think it's 8 or 8:30 a.m. is that daily dialogue that I talked about. It's on the calendar. And that will help you be more comfortable with having conversations with your sphere and people you meet. Okay, we talked about TCPA. So it says TCPA guidelines are for your protection as well as for the protection of your clients. Review the importance of the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and the do not call restrictions for when you make calls or text your database. So this is, I think that's what it looks like online. So it says, I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in relationship with me. Alrighty, I think that's the end. So do you have any questions for me? Alrighty, if you guys don't have any questions here, I'll let you guys go. I'll stay on for a few minutes if you want to have a conversation. And again, my name and contact info is in the chat, so feel free to keep that in your contacts and ask me any questions. I have an open house on Sunday if anybody wants to shadow. It's in West Salem. It's a home that's been on the market for a while, but they are doing a price reduction, and I think they're doing some innovations, and they're having new pictures done. And it's going to be around 600,000.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming. I'm so happy you guys had your cameras on. I appreciate that.
What time is your open house on Sunday?
Sunday, 12 to 3.
Okay, gotcha. I live in Roseburg, but I was gonna go up to Corvallis that day, so I was like, it's kind of close by, but I wouldn't be there in time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 Thank you for class. I learned so much. It was really helpful for me.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good day.
Jane, do you have any questions for me since you're here?
No, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's try to remember your contact information. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. Bye.
What location are you in?
In Portland.
Oh, Portland. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just passed my exam and then not to activate yet.
Oh, good for you. Congratulations on passing the exam.
Thank you. And this is my first class, and I just try it and start to learn.
Oh, good. Good for you. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, my contact is in there. Did you see it in the chat?
Yes, yes. I've already take a picture and write down in my contact later.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. All righty. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks for coming and having your camera on. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.